Basement Bookers Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Basement Bookers Podcast. It's your boy, Basement Chair, talking to you on YouTube. Okay, don't run. It's me, Basement Chair. It's him, the most rizzest, baldest man. We are, as it says up there, the Basement Bookers Podcast. That part's left out, but it's obviously that's what we are here. And we're here, Rich Torres, to talk about Night of Champions, King of the Ring at the Night of Champions, title matches at the Night of Champions,
The street
crazy street fights, variables abound. And we're going to talk about it for the next few minutes. If you would please subscribe to our channel, we are at 105. And we are looking for the 106 subscriber. That could be you. That is this week's goal, 106. So if you could please just hit that like. You are shattering a record held by 105. And records are made to be broken, especially here.
I'll buy all the records and just shatter them.
That's right, Rizman. So we're going to move on to talk about the Night of Champions pay-per-view. Basement Jared, the Rizman here. We're going to go on down to Saudi Arabia for some matches. 6 matches to be precise. Rich, which match are you most looking forward to? And I will be sure not to talk about that match first.
I think I'm most looking forward to, as far as the in-ring action, Cena and Punk.
Wow. All right. Well, me too. But Wikipedia has Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton first. So now look at these two guys. Look, who could have called this but us? And a lot of other people probably, but I don't watch anybody's stuff except for ours. Well, I've seen some stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't get Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes could get Kevin Owens.
Okay? Drunk. Sorry. I was finishing the sentence there.
So, yeah, that was a good episode of that. But anyway, we're not here about that. Rizman, what are we here about? We're about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. It was coming down to this. It was always coming down to this.
Yep. Mentor versus mentee, if we go way the hell back to Legacy. Now, as far as this match goes, I feel like the story is Cody's sequel, right? This is to get Cody back in the championship picture to maybe ultimately take it from Cena, or maybe he'll get a second shot afterwards. I don't know, because Cena has, I think, 17 or 18 dates left after Night of Champions. So it for me, I mean, this is the 9th title match for us for the Basement Championship, because they're overseas, and when they started that, it wasn't really canon. Anyway, yeah, I'm picking Cody.
All right, so me personally, also picking Cody. I was, that's where it's going. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, and it can still set up Cody versus Randy after Cody beats John Cena. So they'll wrestle again, but for the championship. I think it's fair to say in this situation, it's not even close. What are we even talking about here?
Ooh, he invoked. What are we even talking about here?
Listen, John Cena and Randy are tied. It's the end. Their match was supposed to be the last time. So that's it. Okay? It's Cody Rhodes all the way.
Whoa.
Cody beat Jay. We were all not surprised by that. Not at
Mm.
all, actually. Look,
Jay was too yeeted
Jay,
up.
yeah, he was too yeeted up. And I think maybe Cody, maybe he had a hand in that. Maybe, the night before, they were, maybe hanging out on the bus, having
Mm.
some Wheatleys. Having
Mm.
some Wheatleys, Wheatley.
Yeetly.
And that's what happened. So the lesson there, kids, is don't eat so much and stay away from alcohol. It's not cool and you don't need it.
It's not good for you. Not only
You
your
don't
health, but the lives around you.
You're especially lucky if you just never do it because if you never have it, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
You know what you're missing. Nothing good.
I know what I'm missing,
Right.
and it ain't good. So, yeah.
Yes. All right.
Listen to me. Listen to Basement Jerry over here. Listen to Phil.
Yeah,
Keep away.
he's right. All right. So, Oscar Jade Cargill. Whoa. All right. This is wow. I don't even know what to say here. Stalling for time. Non-title.
Hmm.
Obviously, it's fine. Um, I think either one can win it, and I think Oscar takes it. I think Oscar takes it, and this sets up Io versus Oscar. But the main reason that I'm hesitant is because either one can win, but at the same time, just because Oscar doesn't win this doesn't mean she doesn't get Io anyway.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
why I'm
I was
I'm a
just gonna.
little conflicted, but
Mhm.
I'm just going with Oscar because she's just come back.
Mhm.
And it's like, what do we do? What does Jade Cargill need Queen of the Ring for?
Yeah. Both women, regardless of the Queen of the Ring match and its spoils, they both have storylines that are either at or near the championship picture. So neither of them need to be Queen of the Ring. That said, Asuka, I feel like, is directly in line for a title match against Io. That's very clearly where the story has been leading. Especially if you saw like if you had commercials on Raw, you didn't see it, but there was backstage segment. Asuka basically saying we're not in damage control anymore, and I'm coming for your title. So Asuka wins this for a couple of reasons. The only reason I haven't really said yet is they're going to want to keep the match kind of quick because we don't want to see Jade's kind of still greenness. She's much improved. She's still a little green. There's still a couple of missteps. We don't want to see it. We want her to get more seasoning before she gets a title shot. Now, I feel like if Jade were to win, right? She gets a match against Tiffany. Naomi's got the briefcase. Jade's still feuding with Naomi. She's completely distracted. Plus, Nia Jax is in the picture. This is more set up for Asuka now. Jade's still going to be mixing up with Nia, Naomi, and Tiffany. So that's going to happen anyway. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Wow. You could take that to the bank. The CM Punk Bank.
Hmm.
Uh, your most anticipated match of the night, John Cena versus CM Punk, Saturday, June 28th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Nice early day.
Streaming exclusively on Peacock in the U.S. and on Netflix internationally.
Yes.
Uh, internationally.
Internationally. I don't know what that
So,
was. That was like if you hold your nose, like if you're talking like all side to see, if you're all stuffed up.
Yes, you're an alien from an episode of Star Trek where it's like two species on a planet that have been fighting for like 1,000 years and neither one remembers why. And Picard's like prime directive, and then the credits roll. All right, so
Yeah, he basically says just keep it moving. We're not
yeah,
stopping
it's
here.
like, well, you did it now, John Cena. You've got CM Punk on your ass, and he's what? He's upset because he had to fly all the way from America to Saudi Arabia for a title match against John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
The never seen 17. The GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
That's my GOAT, John Cena. All right.
I can't get past Punk's hypocrisy here.
Look,
Cena's the heel, but Punk's not a good guy going into this.
he was just talking shit, and people blow things out of proportion. But hey, if the check clears, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, like John Cena said, CM Punk is a capitalist.
If anyone that hears this podcast is going to Saudi Arabia, whether you're from the US or anywhere, right? If you could get that tweet, they're not going to let that sign in. But if you can get that tweet on a sign and get that, they would never show it on camera. But that would be the move. Like, I kind of want. Okay. All right.
First of all, don't listen to this guy causing an international incident over something you saw on some obscure podcast you accidentally found on YouTube.
All right. So sometimes
What's wrong with you?
Sometimes I channel Loki, right? But like I don't like it. Like if you're gonna put such strong words out there, stand by them when the check comes.
I think that some people tend to hold others to a standard that they themselves can't uphold.
Damn, strong words. I hear you. I hear you, and perhaps.
I mean, what I'm saying is there are a lot of liars that live in this world under the guise of righteousness, like they're good, when they're just liars. Okay? So yeah, I got John Cena.
Yeah, that's easy
For
pick here.
sure. Speaking of liars,
Yeah. Well, so
you're a liar, John.
if they could pay Punk in cash and like just dump red dye on it, just he opens the duffel bag, he's like, is there blood all over this money?
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.
All right.
Or
You're right.
Pepsi can.
You know what? You're right. You're right. It's but like, I feel like we're
Judge
punching up.
not.
We're punching up. We're not punching down. We're punching up.
That's true.
Like, I don't think I will ever in my lifetime make as much as Punk is making from this one fight match. You know
what, man?
And I'm not hating. I'm not hating on anyone going there and getting a paycheck. I'm not hating on Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross going there and getting a paycheck. Just Punk for what he said.
There's CM Punk fans out there.
I'm a
they
Punk
have the
fan
opportunity to see CM Punk as well as his American fans.
Yeah. I'm a Punk fan, but if I see hypocrisy, I'm gonna call it out.
That's good, and you're free to. I'm just saying. I'm taking that paper.
I hear you.
I'm gonna take the paper.
I hear you.
Because that paper's good.
You got to figure it's at least $1 million just to go over there for a match.
Dude, it's like even just for an experience, travel the world. You'll be a world traveler.
Mm-hmm.
Meet people from different walks of life that you would normally meet
Mm-hmm.
unless you came over there. It's reaching across the aisle. It's a beautiful thing. I don't understand. And like I said, I'm not excusing what he said. But what he said is stupid,
Mm.
and how people are reacting to him is stupid too. Because it's like we all know what he said,
Mm-hmm.
but what am I going to tell you? He's a capitalist, and like I
Mm-hmm.
said, maybe he's got fans in Saudi Arabia too. Saudi
Mm-hmm.
Arabian kids buy CM Punk shirts too.
I bet they
I
do.
think.
Probably.
Their money is also green, I guess.
Metaphorically, at least.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
Exactly. So,
Speaking
speaking
of,
of money,
and yeah, I
um,
mean.
so we both got John Cena.
Yup.
So does Seth Rollins show up at all for this?
I think he
Just
shows
as a
up to build.
presence?
I think he shows up to build tension, but I don't think he cashes in there.
Yeah. I don't even think he went over there. All right. So let's move on to Jacob Fatu Solo Sikoa. This is for the United States Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I see Solo winning this.
Oh. Like he's got, JC Mateo.
That's what I was
And
thinking.
there's that, and also
Because even if
Hikuleo.
Jacob has
Hikuleo.
Jimmy,
Jacob
so
has Jimmy. He doesn't have Jay. Jacob has Jimmy. If he heads over there. So we also saw Hikuleo work a dark match recently. So he could debut as part of Solo's crew.
yeah, he could. And that could
Or
give
mhm.
Jacob some fun stuff to do.
Yeah, or maybe one of the Tongans is cleared. I don't know what's going on with them, but I'm gonna stick with Jacob either way. A, because this is not title, so it doesn't really matter. But B, I think they're gonna do okay. Well, there's all this interference, but Jacob still won anyway because the heels are clumsy or whatever. They're not well organized.
Are you saying they're clowns?
I'm not saying they're clowns.
Okay, good.
I'm
Good.
saying
I don't want you to
they're
get in
like
trouble.
disorganized crime.
Oh, the best kind. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Here we are. Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley. I'm actually looking forward to this match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm invested in this. I think Raquel Rodriguez wins it with help from Roxanne.
Well, so that is not out of the question as far as the help from Roxanne. I don't think Raquel wins it. I got Rhea.
I think you need to build Raquel's standing, and a win over Rhea Ripley in this street fight is the best way to do it because it's not a fair fight, and she gets a W. And they can handle shit while Liv's out.
True. I'd be okay with that. I'm gonna stick with Rhea anyway.
Okay.
Again,
You're allowed to
non-title.
be incorrect. That's why I'm doing crazy predictions, man, because I can do what I want.
Yeah.
That's just like the champ has non-title matches.
Mm-hmm.
It's like whatever, bro. I can
Yeah.
just walk in and just kick you right in the nuts and just move on with my life. Or make it look like you hit me in mine. Yeah, I do that one.
The
All
old
right.
Eddie Guerrero.
Hey, I do what I gotta do. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, Karrion Kross, rumor is that he doesn't take flat back bumps, is what I'm hearing. And I don't know if I don't, now I'm going to have to rewatch his catalog and see if this is true.
Mm-hmm.
And if so, why? Does he have a pre existing condition? Is it like his Achilles flatback?
Mm. So that is a theory that is going on in the IWC very recently. It could also I said to you earlier in chat that maybe it's he wants that as part of his character. Like no one can knock me down. Like I'll lose, but I won't get knocked down on my back. Because like he doesn't win a lot of matches, except maybe on speed or house show matches, dark matches, or whatever.
But I need to see if he's taking flat back bumps or not.
Mm-hmm. We gotta
Like
see
I
like
thought that was like a basic wrestling fundamental. Like
it
if you can't
is.
flat back, you can't be a wrestler.
Yeah, because I mean, especially coming up as you're proving yourself,
I'm
there's a
sure it
lot of
hurts
that.
a lot. I get
Oh yeah.
maybe because it hurts a lot, and he's like maybe he's a little sensitive.
Well,
I mean,
he
his
had
hair is quite magnificent.
it's pretty
It
great.
could be
It's pretty great hair.
yeah.
So when he originally came up from NXT, he had when he was NXT champ, he had a shoulder injury. Now, how this relates is, and I wonder if that never really fully recovered correctly because to a flat back bump, every wrestler you'll see it. I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you do though. But like the listeners, the wrestlers will throw their arms out so that their arms land at the same time as their back, so it spreads the weight distribution out more across the arms. So your back isn't taking all your weight. I wonder if the shoulder condition that he maybe or maybe not still has, I'm completely speculating here. Sources nowhere near the situation, don't tell me a damn thing. I wonder if that makes it so like he can't do that without pain or potentially injuring himself again. For reference, after the plane crash, Ric Flair never landed flat on his back. Back body drops in particular, you see it all the time. He would land on his side, and I got like until I heard about that, I got terrified he'd break a hip one day. So we don't know if it's because of a shoulder injury. If this is the case, obviously, no one that knows the answer has said anything yet. So it's a fresh theory. It's fresh speculation that's out in the world right now on the internet, and we basically just waiting to see if anyone will confirm or deny.
Look, before we get into what we were supposed to do is make a prediction for this fucking match,
Oh,
let me
predictions, yeah.
just say something about Karrion Kross, all right?
Mm-hmm.
People might think, Basement Joe, you're a hater. You have basement in your name. You're obviously a loser. Listen, you're wrong. You're wrong about me, and I'm probably wrong about you. But I just want to say this. So, Karrion Kross is, to me, in this category where, like, if he got fired tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
or he became the WWE champion at SummerSlam,
Mm-hmm.
either way, he would be fine. And I say
Yeah.
that because, like, can you imagine how awesome that podcast of his is going to be when he's allowed to talk about, like, what he experienced?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could, that, listen, that content will feed families.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? That content will, buy houses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if he goes the distance, like he's gonna be fine no matter what he does. So I think it's good that he has like this following that he's managed to accumulate. I believe they're carrying crossheads. I made that up, or maybe it is that, but I don't want to take credit for it. I'm just joking around, guys. Just chill out. What I'm saying,
About
carrying cross maniacs.
about carrying cross bearers.
Yeah, sure. Karrion Kross bearers. I'm more of a Scarlet follower, a disciple of Scarlet. I follow her
Mm-hmm.
around.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that her and Karrion Kross are safe.
Mm-hmm.
We look out for one another.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he can really go anywhere. But I don't think he's winning this match. I think
Dudes on
Sami Zayn
social
takes this.
media like getting like an armbar on 3 baseball bats at the same time and snapping them all.
Yeah, well, that
That's
doesn't get
nuts
you
content.
that. That's great for social media, but it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get you over on TV. Okay, that's what it's got to be about. And
I
in order for
mean,
that to
it.
happen, he needs to be featured in some kind of storyline, and maybe that's what this is.
Mhm,
Or he has this match and we never see him again
mhm. I think
until he
they could
just
work it
random
into
up
TV.
pops up.
Honestly, I think they could work that into TV. How many times did like Mark Henry or Big Show, or whatever, flip a truck or a car? Right? Brock ripped a door off a car and flung it like it was a frisbee. Mark Henry bent the hell out of a frying pan. Have Karrion Kross break a couple of bats
Let
with
me
his
ask you a question.
arms.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Those things that you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
they're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like if these people thought it was awesome that he could do that,
Mm-hmm.
we'd have seen that already.
You're right.
Like, would that be something that like everyone would know about, not just us and some other people?
Yeah. So obviously, people backstage know more about the backstage stuff than we do. Goes without saying. I don't know if like people like there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of stop start to Karrion Kross's WWE career as far as like pushing him up the card, maybe pulling him back, pushing him up the card, pulling him back. This is his first PLE in what was it, 14 months?
Yeah.
I like Karrion Kross. I like the character. I like his moveset, his in-ring work. I although honestly I can't say anything about I don't know about him taking back bumps, but either way, I think he can get more TV time. I think he is worth more TV time. If like dude looks like a maniac and he talks like a psychopath.
I think he's just a victim of his transition. When he moved to NXT from NXT to Raw,
Mm-hmm.
that was a fatal blow that
Mm-hmm.
they dealt to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was his match against Jeff Hardy that really they just I don't know why they did it, but they castrated him.
They
They
did.
took everything cool away from him and dressed him up like some S&M dork.
They
And
Max
then
Mooned him.
it's worse than that, bro. And I
Is it
think
worse
it's
than that?
because I think Vince was just jealous that Karrion Kross had a hot wife and he wants to humiliate him. He probably might do something like that. Maybe I don't
I
know what
could
I'm talking about.
We could speculate. Sources nowhere near the
I
situation.
did. I just did.
Maybe. Right. I'm
What's
gonna
he
go a
gonna
step
do?
further.
Allegedly.
Maybe.
I said allegedly.
Right. So
Yep.
allegedly, maybe. Yeah, Vince is jealous. He has a hot wife. He's like, hey, Kev. Hey, Kev. His name's Kevin. What are you and Scarlett doing later? And Cross is like, nah, bro, that ain't happening. It's all right. We're
You're
gonna
you're
put you in S&M
creepy.
gear.
Your creepy Vince is very creepy, and I wish you wouldn't do it.
Thank you.
But you do
That's
it
high
anyway.
praise.
It's kind of disgusting. It makes me hate him. I don't want to do that. He deserves his day in court.
He does for the things that allegedly happened.
Yeah. Anyway,
So I got
this
Sammy
match,
here.
Rich.
I got Sammy here.
All
He's
right,
gonna
me
win
too.
without Karrion Kross taking the back bump.
Poor guy. But I bet he does. I bet he does because he's so online. He's probably hearing about it.
He really is.
It's like,
He
for
knows.
you, Sami Zayn, I'm
Mhm.
doing this. And
Mhm.
when I say he's online, I don't mean he's listening to us. I'm just saying, like, he sees the memes probably.
100%.
All right. Well, that was fun.
I'm looking
I am
forward to that
ready.
match. So that by the way, you agree with that, Sammy?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like um, I'm looking forward to that match because I want to see what storyline develops next in that from that. What develops from that? Where is that going?
I can tell
That's what I want to
you
know.
that you will be very disappointed
I felt like you were going to say
because
that.
it's going nowhere. You're gonna leave that just like, damn. You will ache. So,
Well,
um,
nice early 1 p.m. Eastern start, 10 a.m.
yeah,
on the West Coast of
wonderful.
the U.S. We will be here, right here on YouTube. But before we get to the plugs and the close, unless you have anything else you want to say, I want to run down our picks, non-title
I
match between the
appreciate that.
bookers
Yeah,
here. Uh, Randy versus Cody for King of the Ring. We both have Cody. Asuka versus Jade for Queen of the Ring. We both have Asuka. Cena versus Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship. We both have Cena. Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for the U.S. Championship. I got Jacob. Jer has Solo.
I know it's
Rhea
crazy.
Rhea Bloody Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. I got Rhea. Jer has Raquel. Honestly, if anything, that's the one I'm going to lose. And Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. We both have Sami Zayn here because, convince me that someone backstage gives a shit about Karrion Kross.
I'm sure there's got to be at least one guy.
Probably one guy.
Just got to be at least a guy.
Probably Michael Hayes.
I was just gonna say that. He's got a great look, Hunter. You got to get him
He
out there.
does. He has a fantastic look. He's an intimidating presence. He has this air of intensity about him. If only he'd shave his damn
Dude,
head
you
again.
know what? Like, Ed, look, by the way, we're just joking around. He's probably a really nice guy. What if he's an asshole? I like to give the benefit of the doubt that everybody's nice,
You
but
never know.
sometimes you can be an asshole and not know you are one.
Hmm.
I've had that happen to me. It just happens sometimes.
And even if he's not an asshole, everyone is a villain in someone's story.
Exactly. There's like one guy that you scared,
Hmm.
you know.
It's like,
Maybe he didn't
he made me
appreciate.
shit my pants.
Oh, jeez.
Not me.
Well, look, man.
The guy backstage,
I'll
the
back
production
you up.
assistant.
No, I
Thank
know
you.
you made a character. I
Yeah.
got you. I mean, it's not you. It's not based on you or anything.
We'll fight
It's
him.
just somebody. Yeah. What?
I'll get on your shoulders. I'll knock us both out.
Dude, you can't even get up on my shoulders. I'll crumble into like
I
a little.
I have a good step ladder. All right,
Yeah,
you get
I
on my
will
shoulders.
break.
You get on my shoulders.
You will die.
I got a good base. I got my
All right, no one's
my
climbing
knees
anybody's
suck.
shoulders.
All
All
right.
right, we're getting out of here.
No chicken
You're
fight. All right.
shoulder climbing.
Thanks so much for
Oh,
joining us. Do us a solid. We know that more than half of you that are watching right now are not subscribed. Do a solid. Hit that subscribe button. Please be number 106 plus, because who knows how many are going to subscribe between now and then. Check us out Saturday live for Night of Champions, 1 p.m. Eastern. We will be live with it. Okay.
yeah.
In advance. Also, Monday, 8 p.m. Raw starts earlier than that. We are starting our live stream of Raw 8 p.m. like we always do. Okay? Check us out here, right here. Basic Bookers Podcast on YouTube. And as always, Jer's got a party message.
I'm sorry for staring into your souls, but we need that plus one subscriber, so at least one subscriber a week. Eventually, we could get to our goal of 500 subscribers. So
Million.
1 day at
All
a
right.
time, and you can help. Let us know about your predictions, any wild theories you may have, and might get talked about on the program if we remember to see it, but most likely we will, because at least I look at the comments. So definitely you'll get like a heart or a thumbs up.
I look at
That's
the
always
comments.
me.
You're
So yeah,
quicker than I am.
I listen. I do it for the people. Basement chair
You do it for The Rock?
is the basement bookers people champion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the match of life is scheduled for one fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the bookers.